Listen to the show and peep what these dudes bring. If you didn't know, it's an orange and blue thing. Hope to win the championship and a few rings. We're talking baseball. It's an orange and blue thing. Walk off if the game's tied like shoestrings. It's a Mets podcast, orange and blue thing. Beat the other team with defense and a few swings. LFGM, it's an orange and blue thing.
What's up, Mets fans? Happy Thursday. It is Thursday.
It's Thursday.
It is Thursday the 19th. I think it's the 19th, right? Yeah, it's Thursday the 19th.
Yes.
It is noon. We are live from the Seven Lines headquarters. I am Darren, Meenan. That's Julia Quadrino. This is Orange and Blue Thing, and we usually talk once a week about Mets stuff or whatever we have going on in the world. Sometimes it's Mets stuff. Sometimes it's not. Sometimes it's not. Aruba, passports, dirt bike racing, whatever. But this week we have a lot to talk about, and a lot of it is Mets related. So
love that for us.
Good for you, good for us, and good for whoever is listening or watching live. We were off last week. You were in Aruba. I was in Disney.
I made it to Aruba, and you made it to Disney.
I did make it to Disney. If I never hear another Disney song in my life, I won't be heartbroken about it.
Please.
Listen, Julia, I understand that it's kind of like a rite of passage as a parent that you have to go to Disney at least once. I went once when I was a kid. Amelia went once, and maybe we'll go back one day.
Of course you will.
As we're walking around the amusement park, whatever, the I don't know what it was, Magic Kingdom, one of them. I was like, Amelia, we'll come back when you have a kid. I was like, how about that? I was kind of joking. I mean, maybe we'll do that. Not every year. Some people go every year.
No, I only went once as a kid, and then I've gone once as an adult. But it's so much fun.
It was cool. You know, it's whatever. I don't want to shit on Disney. It was fun. People love Disney. One of Amelia's friends' parents have a season pass. They live on Long Island. They go like 3 times a year. That's crazy. They must be loaded. That's also kind of crazy.
So fun for the kid. Yeah. But honest to God, I'm not even kidding. So the time that you were there was the time where I was still figuring out my passport situation, which was just miserable.
Well,
for those of you who didn't hear last week, I couldn't find my passport. I had a trip planned to Aruba, and like the day before I had to travel to Vermont to get a new one. It was awful. But I'm not even kidding. The only serotonin I felt during that time was watching all of your updates and how happy Amelia and Maximus and Lennox were. Yeah. Oh my God.
No, they loved it.
So cute.
And let me know. Someone just wrote that my mic sounds weird. Hopefully that's not the case. And maybe it's just your headphones or your computer. Anyway, please, if you're watching this, if you're listening to this, if you're going to Denver this weekend, you do not have to let me know about the weather. I am obsessed with the weather.
Doppler Darren, are you new here?
Doppler Darren is on the case. I watch the weather like weeks out, mainly because of motocross riding. I want to like check the weather on the tracks, where I'm going to go. My mic is fine, Lizzie says. Thank you for checking in. Lizzie and Megan are a room over taking care of the next outing, which is Anaheim, which I can guarantee, if you're a betting man or woman, I can guarantee this is a mortal lock. It will not snow in Anaheim next month. So anyway,
I thought you were going to go Syndergaard on the mound. I was like, that's bold.
No, Syndergaard, whatever. So listen, Denver, you don't have to text me. You don't have to send me direct messages. You don't have to send me inboxes. I'm not trying to shit on our friendship, but please, I know about the weather already. It's not going to be pleasant. It's not going to be nice this weekend. But why, we talked about this before we went live, why when they built this ballpark in Denver, when they know baseball starts in April,
right?
And if the Rockies, granted, maybe not this year, but when they go deep into the playoffs and they play into October and early November, it's probably going to snow. Why did they not build this ballpark with a dome is beyond me.
It's just so like reckless, like just such a waste of money everywhere. How many games you have to cancel? Like, I understand roofs are not cheap by any means, even to like ballpark building
but the
billionaires.
amount they lose for like these postponements probably pays off.
Exactly. And I don't understand it. And at this point, now that we're here, we don't have a roof. It is what it is. I don't know how, and granted, I haven't studied the Rockies schedule to know how many home games they have in April and May, but I don't know why. I know the Mets have played there in April before, and it's like, why?
They don't snow.
Why are they doing this? Why would you have them play there? The Rockies should just be doing like all their West Coast road trips the first 2 months of the season. I know that's not logistically fair, but I don't get it.
So if you're
Makes
not
no
going
sense.
to Denver, maybe you're not obsessed with this weather report. You probably heard about it on the broadcast last night. If you're watching SNY, Gary was talking about it. So right now in Denver, it's a couple hours behind there. It's 75 degrees. It is going to be 89 degrees today, Thursday, the 19th, right? Tomorrow, where are we? Tomorrow, 44 degrees tomorrow. And on Saturday, 40 degrees. A 50-degree swing in 2 days.
That's insane.
So I mean, what can we do? We obviously the outing is not canceled. We are going to Denver. Zap is on his way now. If Zap is watching this, he's live and not live. He's flying right now, and he paid like the $5 for the Wi-Fi. And we were texting before. I'm like, hey, if you want to check in live from the plane, I think that'd be pretty cool to have someone like live on the show in the air flying to Denver. But yeah, the outing is a go. I spoke already to the Rockies. If there is a postponement of any sort, like Saturday's game then plays on Sunday, we'll have to roll with the punches and see what happens. I personally probably will not be able to change my flight and stay late. I mean, Amelia's got school Monday. Like it is what it is. I'm flying.
Is Amelia going too?
No. Okay, but we got to be home for Monday morning.
Sure.
Yeah. So we're flying out tomorrow morning at noon. Kelly and I and Shu, and then I'm flying home on Sunday. So like whether they play the game on Saturday or not, that's my plan. Like I'm leaving Friday, I'm coming home Sunday. If the game is played on Sunday a little late or it's a doubleheader, our tickets would probably be good for that. I probably can't go to it unless I could push my flight till later in the day.
Crazy.
But that's the case.
Zappa,
so,
if you're watching this, you're in charge on Sunday.
Yeah, Zappa. I don't know if I want to leave him in charge. But whatever. If you're watching this live from the plane, definitely hit that little button I sent you about joining us on the show, because that'd be pretty cool to have you on the show live from the air. So let us know where you're watching from. Also, share the show if you want to be in the running for this Pete Alonso bobblehead from the Mets.
This is so
If you haven't
cool.
seen it, the polar bear head is hollow and slides on top of the polar bear Pete Alonso black uniform bobble, which is a pretty popular item. So thanks to the Mets for sending these out. This one is staying here. We have 2 more in the boxes. And if you share the show right now, that's how you're put in the running to win a bobble. We'll select the winner, and next week we'll announce it on the show.
Post it on your wall.
Post it on your wall. If you're watching on Facebook, just hit the little share button. If you're watching on Twitter, hit the little retweet button, and then we'll scroll through randomly and select somebody to win. If you're watching on YouTube, after the show, just go to one of those platforms. You probably have an account and retweet or share. There's no limit. You could do both if you want. If you're watching on Instagram or listening on a podcast, you could also get involved as well. So thank you guys for all the shares and all that stuff each week. I want to let you know, yesterday I'm at the dirt bike track. Surprise, surprise. Try to get some laps in before the weekend. And my buddy Brian, who I'm pretty sure is not a Mets fan.
Okay.
His son Rise, he's a little bit older than me. He comes over and he's like, You're a great speaker. And I was like, but we know each other. Like, we're friends. I'm like, what are you talking about? He's like, I watched the show.
Oh,
but he's not a Mets fan.
That's so nice.
I was like, oh, that's cool.
What
like,
a supportive friend.
Yeah, I was like, that's great. He's like, yeah, I watched like 4 or 5 episodes so far. And I was saying to him, like, but like, you're not a Mets fan, but I guess he's just like a fan of me and you now.
Nice.
Which is great. So shout out to Brian if you're watching this on the replay.
We love you.
That's great.
That's awesome.
But that's why we talk about so much bullshit that
I
has
know.
nothing to do with the Mets.
I know.
Because I feel like people kind of like are hanging out with us.
Well, that's like,
you know?
I have family members too who like don't really give a crap about the Mets, but they'll just watch it to be supportive. And it's so nice.
Yeah.
So nice.
Yeah. He was like, oh, you know, like the girl that works with it, she's great. Dog walking. Like he knows the whole deal.
You.
Yeah. Brian, you're the man.
Amazing.
Maybe we're converting people that aren't Mets fans.
True.
That care about dog walking and dirt bike racing. And then they want to be Mets fans.
That extremely niche group of people.
Exactly.
Who are just missing one thing from their life, and it's baseball fandom.
So let us know where you're watching from. We'll pull some of you into the chat here, from the chat. So we got Michael watching in Hop Hog, which is like down the block.
Awesome.
Jen wants you to say that she loves us.
Thanks, Jen.
Con Rob is watching in Massachusetts. Dan is in Colorado. Hope the weather doesn't screw things up. I don't know if he's watching from Colorado, just telling us that he hopes the weather doesn't screw things up. But yeah, a bunch of people checking in from all over the place. Robert in College Point, we love you. Dave in North Carolina. So I want to talk to you about betting. I don't think you bet. We talked about this on the show.
I'm scared.
We talked about this on the show about like how you sign up at the Super Bowl and like you got your money back.
Yes, that was not a good first experience for me. It did not ease my fears. So no, I'm not a part of this.
So do you think if you were a betting woman that you would bet more with your heart or your brain when it comes to the Mets? Because a lot of people say like I can't bet the Mets because it's a team I love. Like I'll bet for this outcome to happen, even if it's a long shot.
Yeah, that's the thing. I don't think I could ever bet against the Mets. Like, even though I know particular players on particular teams are Mets killers, and it would make sense to like, bet that they're going to get a hit. I don't think I could do that because I think that just takes so much away from the experience. That's the one bad thing I think that has come with sports betting. It's that it has taken people out of just being fans of a team and a game or whatever. When you have some sort of other stock into it, it really does. I'm sure over time, it's going to make you start to care less and less about the outcomes of games and teams. Once you have a reason to not give a crap, I feel like over time, you'll start to care less and less.
Listen, you hit the nail on the head because I've had some bets going, like tickets that, whatever you call it, the bet is in. And sometimes I'll pick an opposing player to get a hit. And
you're
it's
that
like,
person.
it's the only thing someone's going to get a hit. So you can't get a no-hitter every day.
It's true.
So I was like, you know what? Nolan Arenado will probably get a hit. You could put him on. So it's like, shit, like you obviously want your pitcher to do well, but like, I need this hit and then I'll win, whatever. So we're going to do a little experiment right now.
Oh no.
I want you. I'm going to put $1 on this. No big deal. But if it wins, I'll pay you.
Okay.
So we're going to do a single game parlay for the game today, which starts in like an hour.
I don't know what that means.
Means you're going to say more than one thing that's going to happen. So do you want to just go with the Mets to win right off the bat? The Mets are going to win?
Sure.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
screw the Cardinals.
Pick like 3 players on the Mets that you think are going to get a hit today. You want to see the lineup
Yeah,
first?
I didn't see the lineup.
All right, hold on. So we're going to see the lineup.
Who's pitching for the Cardinals? The righty or lefty?
You know what? I don't even know. So I probably should have had this.
Back checkers. I think it's a righty.
I should have had this figured out beforehand, but we're going to pull it up now. I know that Nimmo is leading off.
Nimmo definitely.
He had 1 hit last night. A couple nights ago, he was injured. He came out of the game. Did he come out of the game? Yeah, he did come out of the game.
But he played the next day.
He came back. He was a gamer.
Yeah.
So I'm going to pull up the lineup right now, and then you could tell me what you want to do for today. So hold on one second. I will pull this up and have it on the screen.
Perfect.
If you could see it, you probably can't see it better.
No, I made it work.
Nimmo's leading off. Canna's batting second. Lindor, Alonso, McNeil, Escobar, JD Davis is the DH. Guillorme, Nito, and Bassett. So if you want to just fire off 3 players right now.
Okay. I don't even care who's
not
pitching.
Not live bet, but a parlay here.
I don't even care who's pitching. I'm going Nimmo.
Okay.
Canna, McNeil.
Nimmo, Canna, McNeil. Okay.
Yeah.
So we're doing that.
There's at least
and the Mets to win. You know what? I'm going to put more than $1 on that for you.
Let's go.
I'll put $2 on that for you.
Thank you.
If it happens, you win $7.50. How about that?
There
you go. So if you want to tail, no way. And look who's in the chat.
Who has arrived? Oh my God.
No way. Okay, let's see if this is going to work. Zappa.
What's up?
Oh my God.
You got to talk loud. Are you in the toilet right now on the plane?
All right, I'm on the flight. Snuck off to the bathroom.
Are you in the bathroom?
Can you hear me at all?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Yes, I am. Darren wanted me to call in. I'm like, I can't do it. The girl's next to me sleeping, so I'm in the bathroom.
So wait, you're in the toilet on a plane. This is a Delta flight flying to Colorado right now from the bathroom. That's excellent.
I think there's a little delay, but that's okay.
Yeah, there might be a little delay.
This is incredible.
This is incredible. The people outside waiting to get in the bathroom are probably wondering why you're talking to yourself.
It's okay. I'm sure they've experienced worse.
All right, listen, I don't know if anyone could really hear you that great. I can hear you. I can see you. I will catch up with you tomorrow at the hotel, all right?
Yeah, get out before people think you're pooping.
Right. That's excellent. Our first ever live check-in from however many thousand feet in the air that is.
We gotta figure that out.
That's unbelievable.
That was I honestly, when I saw the thumbnail, I thought he like managed to have like a green screen background, like he did like one of those fake backgrounds, but it's so much better that he was in the bathroom.
Yeah, we got Evan. Isn't this a scene in Die Hard? That's awesome. That's awesome. So I mean, funny. I told Zappa, and I actually emailed my contact at the hotel. I'm like, listen, tomorrow night, I don't know if you know this, 3 to 5 inches of snow expected Friday night.
It's that much?
Well, it's supposed to be 2 feet at the mountain.
Oh my God. I didn't even look at like how much snow is
Colorado's supposed to get like 2 feet of snow, but not the city.
But still.
Maybe like Vail or Breckenridge, wherever.
That's
so
crazy.
Colorado, some spots are going to get 2 feet of snow. Denver said 3 to 5 Friday night. If you remember a couple years ago, like Ed Coleman and Sandy Alderson were shoveling.
Yes, I do remember
the snow.
I do remember, which of all the people they could have forced to do that, I don't know why it was them. But
right.
yes.
So they're going to get, I'm pretty confident they're going to get the games in. But anyway, I told the contact to let the hotel know that if people aren't going to venture out in the neighborhood and go to the local bars, that the hotel bar is going to be insane.
Yeah.
Do you know how many rooms we booked?
No.
Or how many we helped book?
Mm-mm.
500 nights. So
Okay.
between Thursday and Sunday, 500 nights were booked.
Holy crap.
So no one's going to really go for just Thursday or just Sunday.
Right.
Because why would you do that? So I'm estimating there's probably 200 rooms booked at this one hotel at the Westin. So the Westin Hotel downtown
It's gonna be
tomorrow
popping.
night is going to be fucking crazy. And like edibles are legal.
Yeah.
I've never done. I did an edible once before it was legal, and some hippie gave it to me at Hunter Mountain.
Yeah, I don't want to talk about
It was a bad experience.
I don't
But
want to talk about that either.
now that it's like legal and regulated,
Yeah.
I told Zappa, I was like, I'll probably down tomorrow night, to be honest. Kelly's finding this out for just now. So we'll see what happens tomorrow. But if for some chance, I mean, I don't think they're going to play tomorrow night. The hotel bar is going to be insane. And that is what it is. So
fun though.
What's that?
Fun.
Yeah, fun.
And because like no one has to drive, which is also even more dangerous.
Right.
You're
well,
all in
obviously.
stumbling distance.
Yeah, absolutely.
Oof.
So that's the story for tomorrow night and this weekend. It is what it is. I think it's gonna be like 95 degrees here, and it's gonna be a mess there. So whatever, roll with the punches. So with the theme of rolling with the punches, Max Scherzer last night throws a pitch and didn't even get through the at-bat, looks into the dugout, gives like the I'm done sign, and gets pulled from the game, or pulls himself from the game. Afterwards, I mean, let me backtrack a little bit.
Okay.
Not after the game. During the game, when everyone was kind of like in the dugout trying to figure out what's going on, you can kind of try to read lips. Everyone has.
I saw John Boy used his skills to decipher.
But it's really tough to say. Like Hefner said,
it's not that bad. It's
some people
back.
think it's not that bad. It's his back, and other people said it's bad. It's his elbow. So like you could like think. Remember like
it's
this
like
dress is purple or black.
Yes, you see what you want to see, or the thing where it's like they say it was like Laurel and what was the other word?
Yeah,
and Yanni, Laurel and Yanni, and you hear what you want to hear.
There's another one that's crazy. Damn, it's Laurel Yanni. There's another one like Space.
I know what you're talking about. Fact checkers help us out.
Yeah, there's another one that's real, but very similar. So like you can kind of read lips and be like, oh, that's what he says, but no one really knows for sure. So then after the game, Scherzer says, I felt a little twingle in my side, and then when I threw that pitch, I knew like that was it. I'm going to get an MRI today. If he has gotten one, and that has come out between when we went live until now, let us know in the comments here.
It didn't come out, but he got the MRI. I don't know if you saw.
No, I didn't know.
They said that they like have to talk to all the doctors to like get an update. So he had the MRI. They're waiting for all the doctors.
So last night he's like, listen, when he's talking to the beat, he's like, it's in spasm now, so obviously doesn't feel that great, but like as long as it's not his elbow or his shoulder or something arm related.
Although if it's an oblique,
it could be like 6 weeks or, but it's not like season-ending surgery.
For sure.
So
just bad timing with Megill down too. So
well, Mama Megill says that he's fine. I don't know if you saw that.
Speaking of players' family members, did you see Mark Hanna's wife tweet last night when he got drilled in the ribs with the pitch? It was amazing. It was, again, it's going to make for terrible podcasting, but it was just like a gift from Friends of Rachel trying to fight someone and like Ross having to like hold her back. But it was funny. It was funny. This, again, made for terrible podcasting. But go look it up. It was funny.
No, I like when there's
I also didn't know she was
active.
like, I didn't know she was active on Twitter. So
Mama Megill?
No. Mark Hanna's wife.
Okay, gotcha. Yeah. So a few days ago, let me see if I can scroll back to it. But she basically said like he's fine. So I'm like, all right, if Mama Megill says he's fine,
she knows best.
I'll take her word for it. So on top of that, also 6 weeks out at least, I think, is McCann.
Yeah.
So
he just had surgery.
Right.
So.
Well, yeah. So at least 6 weeks. So
yeah, they got a problem with at the catching position and obviously pitching too, but catching is rough.
Which brings this question up that I want you to answer this poll live on the air. I'm kind of hitting you with two different things.
I'm really getting
betting and poll voting.
I want the betting thing to become a normal thing on this show that I place a bet every week. And then
sure. We got a betting sponsor.
Perfect.
So Good Fundies, Brian, they used to have a podcast called Good Fundies. I don't think it's around anymore, but Omar Minaya fan on Twitter, he put up a poll. I didn't vote yet because I want you to do the vote.
Okay.
What do you think the Mets' what do you think is the Mets' single biggest current need? Current need. We're currently 9th in runs and 5th in ERA. We may or may not have help on the way on the pitching side. Starting pitching, bullpen, catcher, or a DH other. So what would you pick here? It has over 1,000 votes. We'll know the result after you vote But what do you think what do you think is the most concerning issue right now? Starting pitching, bullpen, catcher, or DH other? Now that we might be missing Scherzer, Megill, we know is going through it. And McCann is out, so we got Nito and our boy Mazika.
Okay, here's my rationale is that the Mets bats have, for the most part, been good enough that even if and the pitching has been great too, but even if there's like a pitching performance that isn't, the best, the bats have usually been able to keep them in the game and vice versa. Having said that, catching influences the pitching as well as the offense. You need someone who can hit.
Okay.
So I'm going to go for currently, based on where we are, we haven't seen what will happen with Scherzer. We don't know who's going to replace him.
Okay.
I'm going to go catcher.
Okay.
But it could change in a couple weeks. But
so let's say catcher. So catcher is the least.
Of course.
of what people have said so far. So out of the options here, if you're listening, you can't see the poll, over 1,000 votes. Right now, the leading concern that Mets fans think needs the most help is the bullpen with 34.8%. Second,
if you had asked me a week ago, I would have said bullpen. But once McCann got hurt and now it's just Mazika and Nito, I'm a little
right. And then second was DH, and then starting pitching third, and last was catcher at 16.9%. So if you want to vote on that, go to Good Fundies, Brian, Omar, Manaya fans Twitter account and get in on that. So let's jump right into it.
Okay.
The Line Saloon.
Yes.
So the Line
Let's
Saloon.
jump into it.
Let's jump into it. There's only so much I can let out there, and I don't want to string people along because in full transparency, I try to be as open and honest on things when I have the ability to speak freely about them. The Line Saloon Twitter account was made on, I don't know what the date is, but on in October of 2013. So I've been sitting on this Twitter account.
Been a pipe dream for a while now.
Very, very long time. The Twitter has almost 1,500 followers. No one's ever drank here before, and there's only one tweet. So
and it was 2 days ago.
And it was 2 days ago. You're correct. So the bio says you'll drink here one day, a bar for the fans, by the fans, just feet from Citi Field. Expect an experience like none other in the area. Let's go Mets. So I put out a tweet a couple days ago that just says getting thirsty. And I started getting texts.
I was one of them.
I got 2 phone calls from people that I guess want to be involved. I sent them to voicemail. Sorry. So it's kind of like a thing right now. People are kind of wondering what this means. And what I can tell you is I did reach out to the Mets about McFadden's. I went to the game.
The old McFadden's.
The old McFadden's. I went to the game on Saturday, and let me see if I can pull this up because as we're tailgating and we're under the highway, which was great. A lot of people that they think if it's raining, oh, I'm not going to go to the tailgate. You should have came because it was really fun.
Right.
So I put out a tweet when I'm walking over to the game, which started an hour late. An hour extra of fans in your bar before a game on a Saturday.
Yeah.
You're giving money away at this point
right.
to not have a bar.
Mm-hmm.
I come from a bar background. I worked as a bartender. I've worked at a couple nightclubs. I'm not saying I'm a professional by any means.
No, but you're the guy.
But I know how to run
yeah.
a sports bar.
Right.
And I especially know how to fill them up. I'll show you on Saturday when I put tweets out or photos out. Right. So I'm walking into the game. Oh, maybe I put it on the 7 Lines account. I'm walking into the game and I see McFadden's is still vacant. And, during the pandemic, during the height of the pandemic and people getting their COVID shots,
right.
they were using McFadden's as a staging area and a place for fans or
vaccines,
whoever,
COVID testing.
the public to get shots.
Yeah.
You can get shots there.
Mm-hmm.
So, those walls were up for a while. The walls are down. The bar looks like if you have the keys and ice and beer, you could open today.
Yeah.
It looks ready to go. The tap handles are still on. Everything looks like it's dusted up, change the sign. And you could open. I don't want to do that, but you could open up today, right?
Right.
So I'm walking by and I see it empty and I'm like, all right, at Mets, what's the McFadden's rent? And people are replying you could probably just hit them up. You don't have to put it on Twitter. I'm like, yeah, dumbass. That's what Twitter is for. You strum up a conversation.
Exactly. You get attention.
Yeah, it's very strange. People on the internet are very weird.
Yeah.
So anyway, Man, I really wish I could scroll back because people were fired up on it. Oh, here we go. Okay. So what's the McFadden's rent looking like was the initial tweet. Followed that up as I'm walking out of the game at like whatever time, 11:53. An empty, sad looking bar, right?
Yeah.
So I'm like, you know what? At first I was saying to myself, I don't want anything to do with this space. And after,
you have been saying that for a while too.
I kind of still don't, but I'm talking myself into it, right? Because I just don't like the way it's constructed. I don't like the layout of it. I've said it many times. If I was allowed to go in there and kind of renovate and make it our own.
And also, it's so much different. Like, nothing against McFadden's. I had a great time at McFadden's when it was there. But McFadden's is also just like, you know, a generic bar chain, has something to do with Citi. This would be like a Mets fan-owned bar.
Right.
At the Mets stadium.
Well, I talked about this. I don't know if about on this show. I've talked about it on We Gotta Believe, and I've said it publicly. Years ago, probably 2013. Yeah, definitely 2013. When I put that tweet out that like I made this Twitter account, I was contacted from a partner of McFadden's that said, hey, they didn't want competition. They're like, we'll bring you in.
Right.
So they wanted to even change the name of McFadden's back then, which is crazy. Bring me in as a partner, yada, yada. And I said, no. So I wanted to do my own thing eventually.
Right.
Now this is almost kind of landing in my lap.
Yeah.
Because of COVID and corona and everything that happened over the past couple of years. So I would almost be like dumb not to inquire. So I reached out to the Mets. I'm waiting to see what's going to happen with that, but it's not dead in the water. I think that if it wasn't a possibility, they wouldn't even have gotten back to me.
Oh, absolutely.
So we'll see what happens. I'll keep you guys in the loop for sure. But if I'm able to go in, renovate, change a bunch of things that I don't like about it, I think that like the sound levels in that place, they spend a lot of money on the sound system and the DJ booth. I love DJ Teddy. They always had a great time there, but it just sounded like muffled. The ceilings are too high. They got to figure something out, or we have to figure something out. I want there to be garage doors. I feel like you don't want to, for the amount of traveling we've done over the years to every ballpark in the National League, the places that I like the best are spots that have indoor, outdoor.
Right.
You need some kind of outdoor feel. The walk through with the gate where you could like scan your ticket and go in from McFadden's. If you noticed, the whole right side of that is always empty. There's usually like a table and like, I guess there'll be like a metal detector there now, but that's all wasted. Open that up. Let's use the outside, have like a guy playing acoustic and have inside be the DJ booth or whatever. So there's a lot of possibilities. I have a lot of ideas. If they're open for it, I'm sure the rent's going to be freaking through the roof.
Of course.
I do have a team behind me that are interested in getting involved with me. So we'll see what happens. And as soon as I know, I will let you guys know, because I would love for you to fill the place out.
Honestly, and just the fact that you created this Twitter account in 2013, if it happens, that is the definition of manifesting. That's what putting something out into the universe and waiting for it to come back to you.
Well, I was talking to Indart about this. I'm like, I've always been like this with the 7 Line. I do like reverse marketing.
Yeah.
Like I always do this. I put stuff out ahead of time and, you know, get the feelers out there, which is not like brain surgery. Like everyone should be doing that.
Just get people to talk.
But like get a conversation started and put things out there. And kind of that's what I did with the mustache thing that fell through, which we talked about, I think, on episode 1. I put it out first. I'm like, hey, I want to give everyone mustaches. They end up being way too expensive, but put it out there and then kind of get a no later.
Yeah.
You know?
It's the worst thing that happens is it doesn't happen. The best things that happen is it does. And now there's all this hype behind it. And, right.
So, I mean, yeah, the 7 Line Saloon, we'll see. There's another location that's close by that almost kind of fell in my lap recently too. So I think that like it kind of might happen. Like,
so excited. I'm trying to like temper my excitement, but I'm so excited.
We have a few close friends that already want jobs there.
I was going to say, we have a lot of ideas already that we were brainstorming.
Yeah. We had Tara practicing at my house on Super Bowl with the tap.
I've thrown out the idea of adding a dog walk or a dog run so people can bring their dogs. But that was after someone was like, is there going to be like a babysitting facility? I'm like, okay, well, if we're going to babysit kids, let's bring the dogs too.
Well, now that you're into betting, I mean, it could be called like the 7 Line Saloon and Sportsbook.
Yes.
Sponsored by whoever
wants to sponsor.
Exactly. So there's a lot of ideas. I think that the bar would definitely be mobbed. I mean, I wouldn't want to take away from the tailgate aspect too.
Right.
So like, I don't know what we would do for outing days. Maybe there'd be like some kind of special if you're sitting with us. I don't know. We'll figure that out. But I'd also wouldn't want to take away from the kiosk upstairs.
Okay.
But I think that there needs to be a retail component to it.
It could just be like open after the game. So when people are in the stadium, they have to buy from there, and then after the game, they can buy from there.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, before and after game, and then in the I don't know. We'll talk to the Mets about that. But I don't know. But it's kind of like if you have the team store, then you have a store upstairs. Kind of like the same thing. So we'll figure something out. But I think there's a lot of possibilities, and I think that people are like dying for someplace to be.
No, absolutely.
Because that brewery is there. the Ebbs Brewery,
Mm.
which took over for McKellar, but it's
I didn't even know it was there, for being
it's
honest.
like picnic table. I mean, I'm not shitting on it. I went for a drink a couple of weeks ago, but it's a different vibe. Even when McKellar was there, it's a different vibe.
It's not
like,
a party place.
Right.
And also just think about like, because I'm pretty sure in 2015, McKellar's was open for like the playoffs when the Mets were on the road. Imagine that in the playoffs, if the Mets go to the playoffs and they're on the road.
Do you remember who was bartending?
No, I wasn't there.
Lenny Dykstra.
No way.
Lenny Dykstra was bartending
at Citi Field.
I bartended at McFadden. I wasn't even working there.
amazing.
I bartended on the closing day. What was the year of the Don't You Raise again?
2011.
Okay, so on closing day 2011, I put on one of like the little shirts like that the girls wore, and I bartended for like an hour to make no money. I like just took the tips and donated it to whoever was working. I just wanted to do it. And I'm pretty sure I served Wally Backman that day. Because they brought him out. He actually, if you remember, I mean, Wally's probably never going to be the head manager.
But he was in talks for a long time.
Yeah, he would get the call up in September to come in and coach.
Yeah.
So I'm pretty sure, I'm almost positive it was. He was definitely there at least once. I'm pretty sure it was that day. I think I served Wally Backman. So that's pretty cool. Anyway, so that's the story with the Line Saloon. We'll see what happens. I will for sure keep you guys in the loop. Don't forget to share the show if you want to be in the running for this Pete Alonso Polar Bear bobblehead. Thanks to the Mets for that. We have 3. I'm keeping 1 for the studio, 2 to give away. Share the show, get involved, and you'll be in the running. So
amazing.
I want to bring up a topic to you that I think that it should kind of be common sense by now, but I don't think that everyone is on the same page with this.
All right.
So 50 Cent.
I know where this is going.
Aoki. Was it Steve Aoki?
Steve Aoki.
What's his name? Steve? All right, let me look this up. What is that, like house music?
Yeah. It's like the electric.
How do you spell that?
Aoki, I think.
Okay. So Steve Aoki, maybe he wants to play at the Line Saloon one day. We'll see what happens. You know what's weird? They even had you ever watch Sons of Anarchy or know about it?
I know what it is, but I haven't.
They had the Sons of Anarchy cast one day at McFadden's after a Mets game. It was pretty sick.
For no reason, just they were at the game.
No, it was like a meet and greet in that side room after the game.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it was
random
cool.
But fun.
So if you haven't seen, Steve Aoki threw out the first pitch at Fenway the other day, and it was probably the worst first pitch you've ever seen.
But did you hear?
Yeah,
how it happened?
Yeah, give me a break. So he had a little coaching beforehand, and he was like, "I can't reach home plate," is what he said.
He says he's thrown out a few first pitches before, and he never reaches home plate. So I don't know who was catching for him, but whoever it was that was catching for him told him, he's like, "Just aim high, high. I'll catch it. Just aim a little higher."
Let me see if I can find the video.
He
I have
really
the thread
high.
here. Yeah, he went over the backstop and went on the netting.
Yeah.
So at this point, nobody talks about good first pitches, right? Like if someone throws a great first pitch, you don't hear about it, you don't see it. I've seen like some gymnasts. Those are
I was going to say the only one I've seen was Simone Biles did like.
Oh, so she did like a backflip.
Yeah,
or something?
She did like an aerial or something.
Because it's impressive, you know. But like 50 Cent throwing to basically the home dugout, and Aoki throwing it above the net.
Right.
They do this because they want their name to be out there. So like,
is that what you think?
Are you kidding me?
I mean, 50 Cent.
Are you joking? Or are you serious?
I don't know. I'm genuinely asking you if that's what you think. I'm not saying that like outrageously. I don't think Steve Aoki cares that much.
I think he does.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, look how many people who are like I'm not into Steve Aoki. Couldn't tell you.
Are you listening to his music?
I couldn't pick a song out of lineup.
All right. So what kind of press is it even? No one's listening to his music.
His name is out.
You're just saying like, oh, look at that loser who can't throw a baseball.
They say bad. Any press is good press. Whatever. His name is out there. I don't know if he's got like an album coming out now. 50 Cent had something coming out.
Okay. If Steve Aoki has an album coming out, I will give it to you. Otherwise, I just think
every bad pitch is planned.
Okay.
Unless it's like a really bad one, not like if it just dribbles in.
Right.
Like if it's like to the backstop or above the net or to the the dugout, it's on purpose.
Okay.
You don't think so?
No, I didn't. That thought never crossed my mind. I'm not saying it's not possible. I'd never gone there before.
I think it should be 100%.
I love this little conspiracy theory.
Let us know what you think in the comments. I think it's absolutely on purpose.
I think it's genius. So when you finally get the Line Saloon and they ask you to throw out the first pitch as this new like business partner, should I expect you to just like throw it? Where are you going to aim for good press?
Are you kidding me? I have a reputation.
But don't you want the good press of having?
Do you know what this says? Read this statue. What does this say?
2020 New York Mets fantasy camp MVP. I hate
no shit. So it doesn't have my name on it, but it should. Maybe I got to get it engraved.
But you don't want the press?
No. You're like, of course he threw a piss missile down the plate. He's the 2020
But you
MVP.
just said no one talks about it.
I don't care if they talk about it.
Okay, fine.
I no way. I can't do that. Number one, I would be very nervous to do that. But yeah, whatever. One
so
day,
when
if I ever
Darren
get
throws the
invited-
first pitch, and if it's not a good one, just know it wasn't purposely bad.
Exactly.
He was just bad.
But I'm definitely not throwing it over the netting or to the Mets dugout.
Okay.
Okay.
I believe
So
you.
anyway, hey Siri, play Hips Don't Lie is what Mrs. Met put on Twitter yesterday because Kira, for one reason or the other, was at the ballpark the other day.
Just met everyone. It was great.
Yeah, it was great. So what I want to bring up here is the tides are for sure turning very quickly in front of our eyes as far as Citi Field is concerned. I don't know if it's the Cohen effect. I don't know if it's because the Mets are starting hot. I don't know if it's Max Scherzer. But for whatever reason, the stars are coming out to Citi Field, and it's great to see. Because it's the kind of thing like if I don't know if you go to a lot of Knicks games or Rangers or whatever, like the Mets were out at Game 7
you
the other
always see
night.
celebrities at MSG.
You saw like Celebrity Row. They showed on MSG. They show who's there. Spike doesn't really get on TV anymore as much. Well, it gets on, but doesn't get like introduced because he's there all the time.
He's just there all the time.
But now it's like, all right, Shakira is out there. Judd Apatow was out last night. They were showing like montage, like they were cutting. I didn't see him on earlier. Maybe I was doing something, but I didn't see they showed him on the broadcast earlier. But after the Scherzer news, they were showing reactions of fans like sitting in the crowd, and they showed Judd Apatow, and they went to somebody else. So I was like, wait, they didn't even like mention that it was Judd Apatow.
They didn't say anything?
Not at that point, but they mentioned him like earlier in the broadcast.
Okay.
So I was like, I think that's Judd Apatow.
That's
so like
funny.
he lives on Long Island. I guess he's a Mets fan. So I guess it makes sense why he's there. But Shakira, Judd Apatow, Donovan Mitchell was there the other day. Emmanuel Quickly from the Knicks was there like a month ago.
I remember that.
So like everyone's coming out to Citi Field. It's awesome.
Why not? Look at their record. Why wouldn't you? And there's like not terrible people owning the team now, so it's great. It's awesome.
So who knows who's going to show up next? But that's always great to see the stars coming out to Citi Field. So if you're headed out to the game today, hopefully it stopped raining. I don't know if it's going to start on time, but Bassett's on the mound. Who knows? They're probably not playing tomorrow night. So hopefully the boys come out with a win today. It would be another series victory if they win today. If not, they're going to split.
Okay.
And
but they won the season series
exactly with the Cardinals.
All that matters.
And they've won the season series with MLB for being the team with the most hit batsmen as well.
Crazy.
Because I think they're up to like almost 30 now. They got like 3 more last night. So yeah, we'll see what happens. Not that I'm disappointed in Pete Alonso.
Okay.
But the way he handled it with Stubby clap was much better than I would ever be able to do. I don't know if Stubby reached out to him privately, but did you see the interaction they had?
No, I didn't. I didn't see anything.
When Pete was walking out to first base, whatever that was, game 1, what's today? Thursday? Was that Monday night, I guess?
That was the doubleheader, right? I was there. So I didn't.
Maybe it was Tuesday then? I don't know. Whatever.
Yeah, it was Tuesday. I was there, so I didn't see any of the TV.
Right.
Yeah.
So, Monday got rained out. So, and it didn't even rain. But anyway, so Tuesday, he walks out to first. Stubby claps there. They kind of like gave each other like a fist pound, and I guess that was the end of it.
Yeah.
But like, if I'm Pete, I'm just ignoring. Like, I wouldn't. I don't know. Like,
good for him.
Good for Pete to be like the bigger man in that situation. Like,
I guess
to like go out there and knock out the first base coach.
I think it's also that could have just been more for show, so people just stop. Like the camera isn't on both of them the whole game, being like, well, is there still tension? If people, if everybody comes out of the dugouts again, are they going to go look for each other? I think it was just to be like, it's fine, it happened, it's over. Pete Alonso, I do not have beef with a man named Stubby Clap, whatever his name is. So whatever, good for him.
John Heyman on Twitter, Max Scherzer does indeed have an oblique injury.
Damn it.
That injury can have a wide variance for time missed. No official word yet, but it can take a month or more in many cases. So, not great news, not good news, but I'm at least thankful it is not the arm. A ton of teams make the playoffs now. Let's hope it's us. And then by the time we get there, we have a strong Max and a strong Jacob. Yeah. And we make a run for this thing.
Obliques are tricky.
Yeah, they are.
wind was taken right out of this show.
The one thing I like many things about this man, but the one thing I like about Buck Showalter is that he could joke around with the press about like adopting a dog or whatever it was during spring training, whatever. But when it comes time to start talking business, he's no bullshit. I don't know if you saw the last night's post game with him. So someone said like, what's your level of concern or how concerned are you or whatever about this? And he's like, you know what? It is what it is.
Right.
Like next man up type mentality. Like we're going to have to figure it out. He pitches every 5, 6 or 7 days. Basically meaning he's not the only player on the team. And he said something like, the human body is not really made for this kind of activity.
Correct.
7 months out of the year, whatever it is. And, he kind of just shoots everyone straight. No bullshit. Like I love that.
Yeah, I agree. Just exactly what you said. It's like, I love, he has a personality, but it's also not like, not to shit on Louis Rojas, who I know is a good person, but like so many of his like post-game press conferences, like they felt so like rehearsed, like that someone had a gun to his head on the side, like telling him what to say, just like the right thing to say and whatever, like, oh, we're not worried, blah, blah. It's very refreshing to have someone who's just like a human being giving honest reactions, no matter the circumstance. And not only are they honest, but it's also like what you want to hear from the guy leading your team.
There's no bullshit. It was like, listen, this is what it is. We got to deal with it. And, hopefully we get good news. Max is not the only player on the team. Like he was very like straight to it, and didn't sugarcoat anything, which I like. And it's kind of like, this old school dude who knows like, everyone has a job to do and let's figure it out, you know?
I love him.
So you can only go one day at a time. So speaking of playing one day at a time, Dom Smith came out yesterday. I don't know who he was speaking with, but he came out. Let me pull this up. I guess he was talking to Anthony Ryber from, is this Newsday? Newsday, which means he probably can't even read it because Newsday is like behind like this Long Island paywall.
Yeah.
So Dominic Smith to Newsday before tonight's game, which was last night. If there's a team out there that wants me to play and wants to let me play, I would love to play every day. That's just how I feel about that. So clearly every athlete wants to play.
Right.
Everyone wants to be in the lineup.
Right.
Like think that Dom is probably also tired of these questions he's been getting since spring training.
Yeah.
So there's only so many ways you can answer. Yes, I want to play every day.
Also, listen, as somebody who hasn't been given a big contract yet, who's eventually going to hit free agency, you don't want to self-label yourself as like a bench player and like, someone who isn't capable or wants to start. Some people are being like, oh, well, it's not great that he's saying that he would want to play other places. But like, what is he supposed to say in that situation?
Well, the only thing that, might be rubbing some people the wrong way. It's like if another team wants me to play.
Yeah, but I mean, listen,
then let's go. It's almost like asking for a trade.
But again, like, I as a human being, as a player, is like I can't really blame him. He knows Pete Alonso is the future first baseman of this team. It is what it is, even with the DH. And though Pete honestly has been aces when he bats DH, but like he has recognized that like that's the face of this team right now. He's going to be the guy at first base. And again, I understand not wanting to turn yourself into a bench player just because it's the right thing to do for the team. Like he still has a career he has to think about.
Yeah.
It's again, I always come back to this. We were blessed with somebody like David Wright who always just said the right thing for like the better of the team. But that's not always the best thing for someone's career. And I don't think openly saying, I'm happy to do whatever helps and then turning yourself into a bench player by the time you hit a free agency and all you've been doing is coming off the bench and you haven't proven yourself as a starter. Right. You're not going to get paid the way you would if you had experience to show as an everyday starter. So I get it. I can't fault him for that. It's not.
So he followed up with this in a second tweet. I guess he put a lot on Twitter because he knows if people click this, they can't actually read it. Right. So he followed up with another tweet that said, I just try to go in the cage, put in my work, show what I did on Tuesday, and show what I can do when I can. If that's going to be in another 3 days, I can't do anything about it. I can't write the lineup. So Omar Minaya fan, who we talked about before with the poll, said, I love Dom, I really do, but he's only posted positive WAR in 2 of 6 seasons. Only posted an OBP above 0.305 or 305 in 2 of 6 seasons. It's tough. It's a tough spot to be in.
Right.
And then Joe DeMayo, let me find this, who usually doesn't get involved in this, is what he said. I liked this from him this morning. I typically don't try to react to things like this, but this rubs me the wrong way. I understand wanting to play every day, but you are on a first place team and are slashing 197, 280, 258, and haven't homered since July 21st last year. Publicly asking other teams to get you, not a fan. So you looked it up, I guess?
No. Okay. You know what's funny about
or
this?
Someone told you about this?
The person who I saw,
I didn't write it down.
the person who I saw who said this was Mark Gooden. So I looked it up myself because I genuinely didn't know if this was just like a Federalist exclusive that wasn't real.
Yeah.
But Dom Smith, the last time Dom Smith hit a home run, Javier Baez was on the Cubs. That's crazy.
Yeah.
So again, I
Which,
know I
if you
said
don't
what
know,
I
it was last year's trade deadline, so
Right.
before July.
Before July. So, or it was like late July. But I stand by what I said, but I also completely get Joe's point of view from by the same token. You haven't played well with the time that you have had so far, which again, I understand it's hard to play well when you're not getting consistent playing time, but it's a bold move to make.
I'm a big Dom guy.
Me too. I love Dom.
I
want him to do well.
I love him as a person. You see spurts of greatness like
you also need to remember he was playing hurt last year.
The year that he had the fucking scooter or whatever.
Yeah, 2019.
Great teammate.
Yeah.
You know, always on the bench, always trying to get the crowd involved. He couldn't play.
Him and Pete always root for each other, which is what I love. They know they're directly competing for each other's player time, but they're each other's biggest supporters. He's a great person. And when he gets the playing time, like when he was playing in 2020, I know it was a shortened season, small sample size, but when he was playing regularly, he was killing it. Last season, we found out he was playing hurt, so that kind of makes sense. It just sucks that in this game, it's like, you know, there may be perfectly good excuses why you weren't performing to your potential, but like, I feel like it's kind of like where we got with Michael Conforto, who you know, had little glimpses of greatness, but never really, I guess, got to what everyone thought his full potential would be. And now he's, you know, sitting at home with a shoulder injury unsigned. It sucks, but like, eventually it doesn't matter what the excuses are. You just got to produce when you have the chance. So it sucks. I love Dom. I wish him nothing but the best. But,
yeah. I mean, it's tough. I mean, he's put in a tough spot because he has to say he wants to play every day. I mean, that could be his only answer. He can't be like, I'm okay with playing every 3 days. I mean, any athlete, any competitor is going to say they want to play every day.
You are a Travis Jankowski who understands like you've reached your max potential and you're kind of just like rolling.
Let me do what I can. Yeah.
Exactly.
Right.
Dom Smith was, I think, I could be wrong. I'm pretty sure it was a first round pick. So I think there was a lot of, and I don't know what round Travis Jankowski was drafted in, so don't quote me there, but there was a lot of hype with him coming up that he was supposed to be more than just a role player or a bench player. So I get it. I think those are obviously two different situations, but Dom Smith can't be saying what Travis Jankowski is saying.
Exactly. So we'll see what happens in that front. So, game coming up in a little bit. If you're watching this after as a replay, I feel like my friend Brian, who doesn't even care about the
Love
Mets.
you, Brian.
Happy to have you here. If you're listening after, don't forget to rate, subscribe. It helps the show. We're more of a visual show, but we do also have the podcast. So that's pretty cool as well. So I wanted to talk about this, this review that we got on an item that was very funny.
Okay.
It has nothing to do with the show, but it has a lot to do with our products. So let me see if I can pull this up here. So the DeGrom Scherzer, which is obviously something that is a little difficult right now as far as pushing a product, but I go through the reviews and they're published to the site. And I shared this one on Twitter today. Let me see if I can get this onto the site on the bottom here. Oh, I hope it pulls up. Okay. You can't see this. I'm going to read it. You could see it over my shoulder, but they can't see it because it opened up a new tab. So on the button sticker review, right? This fan named Carl, I just
see the headline of it.
His review for this item was titled "Changed My Life." All right. I recently ordered this set and it changed my life. After placing the sticker on my car and heading out to the local watering hole after a little pregame, I was pulled over going 85 and a 35. The officer, after seeing my sticker, waved me past and with only a warning and an LFGM chant. Then, after arriving at my destination, I was approached by 3 young women, all enamored with my button, vying for my attention. Woke up this morning with all 3 next to me. Thanks, 7line. I love a great review. When someone spends the amount of time to like sit there and type this and submit it, I think it's great.
At first, once he said he got pulled over, I was like, oh, this might be real. And then I was like 85 and a 30. And then it just kept going. But that was amazing.
Amazing. So Carl, we appreciate your support,
Carl,
your business, your reviews. I think it's excellent. So I think maybe like we'll start a new contest. Like go and leave a funny review on the site after you purchase something.
And it has to be
everyone gets an
positive
email.
review.
Yeah. Everyone gets an email like a week or two after their product is delivered asking for a review. So Carl, that one was awesome.
Perfect.
We appreciate it so much.
We're establishing new weekly things. My betting and
reviews.
the comment of the review of the week.
Well, last year we tried to do like the sign contest. No one did it.
That required more effort from people.
Yeah.
It's just, it takes time. This is easy. This is just, you could do it on your phone. You could do it while you're watching the show right now and be in the running for next week now.
Absolutely. Also, I've said it twice already, but I usually forget to push the giveaway. So now I'm doing it like extra today.
Perfect. There was I saw a lot of intrigue when you posted this on Twitter.
Well, yeah,
so
look at that.
I also
edition.
asked if I was eligible to win it. I realized
you know what?
Probably not. I'm not. No.
After the season's over, maybe you can look how many bobbleheads we have here. Maybe you can keep it after the season.
It's fine. No, it's
You know what this is from?
No, what is that? It's just a rock.
No, it isn't. Hold it. This is not just a rock.
What?
That is a piece of Shea Stadium.
No.
Yeah. After the demolition, I stuck my hand through an opening and took it from the rubble. So I know it is.
Wow.
No one else knows it is.
You should write like on the back of it with Sharpie what it is.
Yeah.
When
we know
when you die and your grandkids find it, they're like, oh, this is meaningless.
Oh, throw this piece of
it out.
concrete
Like,
away.
what is this doing in all the Mets memorabilia?
Yeah, right. Well, you know what? Maybe it'll go in a glass case at the Line Saloon.
Perfect.
There you go. So if you missed the beginning of the show, and a lot to catch up on. Denver this weekend. Yes, there's a snowstorm. Don't text me about it. I don't need to know. I'm already stressed out as it is. The bag policy, I confirmed on their website. If you didn't see it yet, the bag policy for Denver, let me pull it up here so I can read it again. Pretty much any drawstring is fine. Any fanny pack is fine. If you have kids and diaper bag, of course, that's going to be okay. But anything that's a single pocket bag, 16 by 16 by 8 or smaller, which is big. That's a big bag.
Right.
Is going to be fine. So definitely dress warm. It's fucking crazy. It's going to be 90 today.
That's
90
insane.
in Denver, 40 on Saturday. But dress warm, be ready. I mean, honestly, we've been to cold games. We lived through the playoffs 2015.
Exactly. It's not even like if you said the whole weekend was going to be cold, it's like, okay, just pack for cold. It's the fact that the first day is going to be so hot and then so cold, at least for Zappa.
Today, yeah. Anyone showing up today is going to have like a great summer day.
Right.
And tomorrow's like, this is how people get sick.
Yeah.
And tomorrow's going to be 45 and then 40 on Saturday, but whatever.
That's wild.
We'll get through it. The pregame party at Jackson's. If you didn't see the contingency plan there, hit up the 7line.com and hit the blog area. Some people are emailing us asking about the pregame party, and because it's a rooftop spot. So clearly you might not want to be on the roof on Saturday, or maybe you do. Snow Angels or whatever. So I put a little update the other day on the site. If you want to join us there, it's not a private party by any means. Go on down. The venue itself holds over 1,000 people.
Okay.
We sold 1,300 tickets. So not everyone usually goes to the pregame parties. So what the GM hit me up and he's like, hey, contingency plan is their second floor has like a private like nightclub area. It's like holds like 300 people. So we're going to pack that out first, and any overflow would go either to the first level, or if you want to brave the cold, you can go up to the deck.
That might be fun.
It might be fun. I mean, I don't want to get like have like wet clothes for the game,
right?
But I would totally love to be able to do like at least one Snow Angel.
Yeah.
But I don't know, maybe I'll rush back to the hotel and change. But anyway, it's right across the street from home plate. It's called Jackson's. The address, if you need it, I don't even have it. It's at the look how nice these people look like they're having so much fun.
So warm.
Short sleeves and shorts on a rooftop. That would have been a great time. So the specials are $7 Red Bulls and buy 4 aluminum pints of
vodka
Coors
Red
Light.
Bulls.
Yeah, $7 vodka Red Bulls and buy 4 Coors Light aluminum pints and get one free. That's $24 for the ice cold bucket. They give you the bucket with the ice, and we're gonna have a great time out there regardless of what the weather report says. So join us out there. It's going to be a fun time. So last week or 2 weeks ago, we talked about the giveaway. This week is the bobble.
Correct.
Last time we talked about gift cards. So the winners for the gift cards, which I know, guys, I know that I'm like a little backed up on this. This is how I used to get with Big Apple Trivia as well.
Yeah, you would get on my case about it.
I promise I will be in touch soon. If not today, it will be soon. This week's winners for the gift cards on Twitter, it is at Zenna, ZENNA _99. I might not be saying that right, but at ZENNA _99. And on Facebook, Michael Deitch, Maybe I'm not saying that correct either, but DEITCH. I will be in contact for a free gift card on the Seven Lines website.
Woo-hoo.
If you want to join us for a game, the Cyclones outing is not sold out yet. That's the end of June. I think it's June 25th. The weekend before that, June 18th, I think. It's the day before Father's Day is our next home game.
You can use the gift cards towards tickets or no?
No, because that's sold on
I
the
thought
Mets
that's what you were
site.
saying. Okay.
You could use the gift card for anything we sell on our site. So
Got it.
like a future away game, which would be Philly, which goes up soon. Oakland goes up soon. You could use it for anything on our site.
Okay.
But Mets.com/the Seven Line Army. Join us for the home game on the 18th. And then the next day is Father's Day. Maybe you want to surprise dad with a gift, ticket to the game. Totally your call. Before we leave, though, Taylor Swift, you told me, is a doctor?
Yes.
What kind of doctor?
She was given an honorary doctorate
that's
degree.
not a doctor.
I just wanted you to talk about
I wrote it down. I was like,
know.
what the fuck are you talking about, a doctor?
You throw things out there to get them talking about it,
Oh,
Darren.
okay.
It's good reverse marketing.
Okay, well, no one needs to market Taylor Swift.
I do. Anyway,
Besides that other girl that Richie says is better than Taylor Swift.
Olivia Rodrigo is not better than Taylor Swift. She is incredible in her own special ways.
Okay, so she's not a doctor.
She
was given a
technically
gift
she's
from a school.
Dr. Taylor
Give
Swift,
me a break.
but she is, and she gave the commencement speech at NYU, and it was wonderful, and it was at Yankee Stadium, so it's kind of baseball.
Oh, so she's a Yankee fan.
No, she just had to go there. It's fine. Anyway,
Okay.
I'm glad we got that in.
All right, so we got that in. Julia's going to be here on Long Island, I think, this weekend, enjoying the
grace of God.
90-degree weather,
Yes.
and I will be freezing.
When are you home? What do you want to do? When do you want to do this next week?
Can we get on a schedule, please?
We should talk about this not when we're looking at our schedules and like find a day that consistently works.
We
We'll
have
get
to
back to you.
Guys, we appreciate you checking in. We appreciate the fact checkers making their lives available for any time that we want to do the
Rearranging
show.
their schedules, I know.
But we need to get on a schedule.
I know. We'll
again.
figure it out. It's been both of us. You were like, I need to see what the weather is each day because I want to ride my bike
For
some
this
afternoons.
week.
Okay, so
This week.
we'll figure it out.
Well, next weekend's already Memorial Day weekend.
And that's crazy.
So, but I'm racing next weekend. Thank God. I haven't raced. Like, honestly, I went from, granted, I'm very happy baseball's back. I'm very happy to be working again.
Right.
But I got spoiled last year and the year before. Like, there was no games
Yeah.
that we could go to. So I was like, I'm going to race. And I was
Right.
racing like every weekend. And thankfully I got good at it, whatever. Now I got the bug where like, I want to race.
Yeah.
So now when I'm watching it snow in Denver and there's a race in New Jersey when it's
Pissed.
95 degrees, I'm like, what the fuck? Like, I'm enjoying this edible, but I would much rather be racing my dirt bike if I can't go to a Mets game, you know?
Totally.
So anyway, that's the story.
We'll figure out a day.
Yeah, we got to get on a schedule.
We will.
So we
we'll figure it
appreciate you guys. If you're watching from the car, hopefully you're not driving, heading to the game, but wherever you may be, enjoy the rest of your day. Enjoy the weather before it gets shitty, before we go to Denver. Anything else you want to say? Shout out to Jake Eisenberg.
Oh, yes. He was
Did
with
excellent.
he filled in for Gary, right?
Yeah, he filled in for Jake Eisenberg filled in for Wayne because Wayne filled in for Gary.
Okay,
Jake was
okay.
next to Howie, which
Oh,
has to
yes,
be
yes, yes.
very nerve-wracking.
I think again that was the games I was at, so I didn't get to listen. I just saw that
Jake
after
did
the fact.
18 innings with Howie.
That's
Filled
crazy.
in for Wayne. It's honestly I've listened to both games. I was driving around a lot on whatever that was Tuesday.
Mhm.
Jake did great.
Awesome.
And he's young too. Like he fit
Yeah.
in perfectly. So
Good for him.
that has to be extremely nerve-wracking to be next to the voice of the Mets doing a Mets game. So, all right, shout out to you guys watching, listening. Do all that you can to share the show, get in the running for the bobblehead. Rate, subscribe, do all that good stuff. We'll see
and
you next
sending
week.
our love to Trevor May, who lost
And
his
Starling
cat.
Marte, of
Yes.
course. Both horrible, in their own right. Starling Marte is going through it right now. His grandmother passed away. I'm pretty sure he's going to be back with the
I
Mets
think he
in
comes,
Denver.
Yeah, he comes back today, but won't be activated.
And Trevor May's cat passed away today, I guess,
Yeah.
from an accident
Yeah.
at the house. So
terrible.
horrible for both of them. So
Sending love.
absolutely. See you guys, Denver, wherever. Fuck, snow. I don't know. Later, guys. See you next week.
Bye.
Oh my God. What?
Where's the button?
Let's go, Boogie.
Where is it? Oh my God.
Put it in the box.
All right. Thanks, Howie. Put in the books. Mets win this series. Keep it hot. Whatever. I don't know. Fuck. Whatever. See you guys.
Bye.